Hey, it's Alex here. Have you ever visited or considered moving to Huntington Beach? Today I'm going to break down all the pros and cons from a local's perspective on exactly what's going on. And if you're interested in learning more about the areas of Huntington Beach and Orange County, make sure that you subscribe. I'm going to be doing videos that really breaks down exactly what you need to know when you're considering moving across the local area. So subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified with any new videos that we have, and please make sure that you comment and give a thumbs up to the video so that we can keep knowing exactly what we're doing right and what we can continue to improve on. Huntington Beach is centrally located about an hour outside of Los Angeles and a little over an hour outside of San Diego. It's bordered on the coastal side of Newport Beach on one side and Sunset Beach on the other. It has a population of a little over 200,000 people. And what that means is that it actually is the fourth largest city out of 34 cities in Orange County. And it's actually the most populated beach city in the entire county. So how Huntington Beach is broken into is that we actually look at four different areas. There's South Huntington, which is actually bordered mostly by Costa Mesa and a small piece of Fountain Valley as well. And that zip code is 92646. So then you have West Huntington Beach. And that's what a lot of the nightlife is. And that's actually where the downtown is. And it also, that zip code goes inland. And that zip code is 92648. So that's going to be West Huntington Beach. And it's also where Pacific City is. It's where the pier is found as well. Then you have Northeast Huntington Beach. The zip code is 92646. It's the area that has the biggest section by Fountain Valley, and also it goes a little bit inland as well, and that's also Central Huntington Beach. And then last but not least, you have Northwest Huntington Beach. And in this area, you're gonna be finding Huntington Harbor. And when you're in this section, the zip code is 92647. And in this pocket, you're actually the closest to the freeway. So if freeway access is important to you, that's where you can go ahead and get easy access when you're going south or north to LA and San Diego. So what are some of the best things about Huntington Beach? Well, there's a huge sense of community. People often know their neighbors, and we've definitely been to our share of block parties. And also we definitely see a lot of bike parades on July 4th. So community is something that we definitely see in the entire city. So if you're looking for an area that has a huge sense of community, it's definitely one that has that. Another thing that is understated is that Huntington Beach has a lot of really great schools, from elementary to middle to high school. The educational system is fantastic. So if you have kids, or if you're considering and having kids and having that as part of your plan, the educational system is something that you can definitely look up in Huntington Beach. If you enjoy the sun, this is the place to be. With 281 days of sunshine on average, and realistically only about 33 days of rain. We rarely remember the rains, but if you were gonna get your vitamin D, Huntington Beach is a great place to get it. And one of my favorite things is that it is very pet friendly. I have a French bulldog, and there's so many places and restaurants that you can walk your dog. But even at the restaurants, there's a lot of outdoor patios that you can go ahead and have your dinner while your dog has a bowl of water, so that you all get this full experience. And people from all across the county come to Huntington Beach Dog Beach. It's a stretch of beach where you can let your dogs run free and really enjoy the beach. So that's one of the really great things about Huntington Beach. And there's so many things to do in Huntington Beach. From shopping to dining, there's the Terabella Shopping Center right off of Beach Boulevard, and Pacific City, which is actually right by Main Street and the Huntington Beach Pier. One of the things that I've never done, but people always talk about, is that in Huntington Beach, you can go ahead and get your surfing on. And the thing is that it's actually known as Surf City, USA. And in that same day, in the wintertime, you can go to the mountains and ski. So you can surf and ski in the same day. I've never done it, but I will tell you that it's on my bucket list. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the cons. So when it comes to Huntington Beach, there's definitely a lot of really great things about it. But also there's going to be some things to be aware of. And one of them is traffic. I think a lot of people love living at the beach. I mean, I think it's great. But the closer you are to the actual beach, also, the further you are from the freeway. And sometimes it takes a while to get to the freeway. And the reason is it's not just getting to the freeway. There's a lot of stoplights in between, and more people are migrating to the beach. And what that means is that with newer apartment complexes and high density living, there's just more people, and then there's more cars on the street, which makes it more difficult to kind of get there. So when you're close to the beach, if you're trying to go to like Los Angeles or you're trying to go to San Diego, it's going to take you longer. And the other thing is that, especially during the summer months, and we'll talk a little bit more about tourists, but when there's a lot of people visiting, the thing is that trying to get from one part of Pacific Coast Highway, which is a main thoroughfare along the coastline, it could take you 30, 45 minutes or even an hour to get from one part of Sunset Beach and then get all the way down to like Newport or Laguna. So it can get pretty backed up. That's definitely one thing to be aware of. So the traffic can be a little bit challenging. Huntington Beach may not be the place to live if you enjoy having 4 seasons. I think a lot of people come to Huntington Beach because they want a more better temperature. But if you're from another part of the country and you're used to 4 different seasons, Huntington Beach may not be the place for you. Because on average, the hottest month is August with a temperature of around 80 degrees. And then if you're looking at also January, you're looking at a temperature of right around 67 degrees. So it's kind of in that band of temperature. And we've had clients and friends of ours move from across the country in the Midwest where the temperature actually dips below 0. And that doesn't make any sense to me because 0 should be the lowest that temperature has. But kind of in this area, in Orange County, if the temperature is over 70, to us it's way too hot. And if it's under 70, it's honestly way too cold. When we see people walking around in wintertime with board shorts and flip-flops, we don't understand because it is way too cold for us locals here in Huntington Beach. Another thing that we've kind of seen, and it's kind of happened across every metropolitan area across the country, is that homelessness is something that we're seeing more of. And regardless of the economy and what's happening, when it comes to homelessness, one thing that you're going to be aware of is that they tend to go ahead and stick to themselves, but it is something that we're seeing more of, and it's no different in Huntington Beach. And another thing that I would say is kind of a con is that property theft and property-related crime, that is something that we are seeing in the city. So if you have a bike and you just park it out in the middle of nowhere without locking it up, the chances are an opportunist may take your bike. Because we have a lot of tourism, and that's actually one of the best things about the city with the commerce and all the businesses and all the jobs that we have, what you're gonna realize is that there's gonna be opportunists out there looking for people that are not paying attention. So just make sure with your belongings that you're relatively careful. If you're gonna be parking your car somewhere, make sure that stuff's out of sight, put it in the trunk. And if you have a bike and you're riding around, make sure that you lock it up because at the end of the day, we want you to have the most enjoyable experience as possible, as a visitor, as a resident, and as a potential homeowner in Huntington Beach. So when it comes to Huntington Beach, what are the things, now that we've covered really the pros and the cons, what are the things that you can do in Huntington Beach? As a kid, I actually grew up in the North Orange County, and we would find our way to the beach and spend a lot of time at the Huntington Beach Pier, which is one of my favorite places to go and just watch the surfers and to kind of look around and kind of enjoy myself because it's a nice little walk. And on the pier when I was a kid, because there's been so much more development over the years, is that you could actually park right next to the pier for $5. Now there's toll meters and there's definitely places to park along Pacific Coast Highway. But obviously there's a lot more things to do today. And right adjacent to the pier, you have Main Street, which is the main thoroughfare in Huntington Beach on the west side. And on Tuesdays between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m., they actually have a farmer's market, local craftspeople as well. And there's a lot of things that you can go ahead and do, but it's a great way to walk around, have dinner somewhere. But that's just one of the things that you can do in Huntington Beach. And also, you have Pacific City. Pacific City was actually named after some of the history in Huntington Beach. And there's a lot of restaurants to eat at. One of my favorite is actually a local, how I explain it is a local restaurant that is not pretentious, but it's a fantastic seafood place. It's Bear Flag Fish Company. So I definitely recommend checking that out. And then you also have Bellaterra, that's off of Beach Boulevard, and it's a huge shopping plaza with shops. And then also they have an REI for outdoor recreation as well. And they just opened up a new taco place that has a couple different locations that is basically like a modern taco place called Puesto that I also recommend checking out. But in all of Huntington Beach, there's just so many things that you can do, and there's so many different areas. So it's hard to decide what makes the most sense, because when you look at the city as a whole, there's so many great things, but there's also some things that you may want to avoid, and there's differences in each part. And as a local resident here in Orange County, and that has enjoyed growing up around Huntington Beach, it's hard to decide really where you want to be. But if you're looking to rent somewhere or you're looking to buy a home, there's a lot of market trends that we're constantly looking at, and there's things that are important to some people and things that are not important to others. So if you are considering making a move, we absolutely love connecting with people and finding out exactly where they want to be. And if you're already a local resident, I would love to hear your comments on this video, because at the end of the day, there's always good and there's things to be aware of. But we've really enjoyed working in this city, and we're grateful for you watching this video and also all of your support. So hope to see you soon. Once again, this is Alex with First Name Real Estate. And if you're looking for a place, we got you covered, and we'll definitely make sure that you get all the inside information so that you're making great decisions.